Hi, my name is Damian Karlson, and I am pleased to be a guest instructor on Andrew Brown's GenAI bootcamp. Today, I'm going to be working through some of the sentence structure prompts that he goes through in his bootcamp. But instead of working with Japanese, I asked if I could work with Spanish since I don't speak a lick of Japanese and I'm only a little bit better with Spanish. So, what I'm going to be doing today is working through a prompt on Perplexity to see if I can get Perplexity to help me learn the Spanish language a little bit better by translating English sentences. So, I'm going to go ahead and switch over to my VS Code here. And here you can see that I've got the prompt, right? So the role is going to be as a Spanish language teacher. I've got the language level. Here are the instructions. The student's going to provide an English sentence. The AI needs to help the student transcribe that into Spanish. Don't give away the transcription, make them work through clues. If the student asks for the answer, tell them that you can't, but you can provide them clues. Provide a table of vocab, provide words in their dictionary form, provide a possible sentence structure. And when the student makes an attempt, interpret their reading so that they can see what they actually said and respond in English. Don't be too encouraging. Don't offer additional hints. And then once the student has successfully translated the sentence, prompt them with a new sentence. So you'll probably notice that this is very much like the prompts that Andrew has been using in the boot camp. And in fact, I believe this is taken from one of his prompts. I did have to make some changes to simplify it for Spanish because Spanish is a much simpler language than Japanese. There's not a spoken and a written component, they're the same. Um, and so mine is a little bit more simplified. I still want a vocabulary table. I still want a sentence structure. I still want the clues and considerations. I did kind of work with what Andrew had provided and made some changes that would be more suitable for the Spanish language in terms of how the sentences are structured. And then I've got some additional prompts down here about the clues and considerations. And so over in Perplexity, I am going to uh, set the focus mode to writing, which means that it won't be going out and searching the web. It'll just be working with me directly. If you don't know much about Perplexity, it's kind of an AI assisted web search, among other things. So you can actually point it towards articles or documentation or GitHub repositories and say, hey, go to this link, help answer these questions for me. There are focus modes that focus on video or academic or math or social. And there's even a way to change the models. We've got the reasoning with the DeepSeek R1 model and reasoning with the OpenAI O3 mini model. I'm just going to stick it with or stay with Pro Search for right now. And then toward the end of the video, I'm going to switch over to those other models with our refined prompt just to get an idea of how each model interprets that prompt a little bit differently. So back over in VS Code, I'm just going to copy and paste my entire prompt into the thing, and I'm going to hit go. And so it has taken in my prompt and it says that it understands and it's ready to assist with translating English to Spanish at the B1 level. So I'm being prompted to provide the first English sentence for the student to translate. So let's see. So the English sentence is, let's go to the store tomorrow. And as you can see, it does do a vocabulary table. It's got the infinitive ir, which means to go in English. Tienda is store. Mañana is tomorrow. It does the sentence structure the way that I would like it to. And it's giving me some clues to use the let's form in Spanish, which is different from English, and to consider the correct preposition to use with ir when indicating a destination. So I am going to go ahead and switch over to my English keyboard and let's see what we can say. So I have no idea if this is correct. Believe it or not, I didn't pre-translate any sentences, so I'm kind of doing this live. So what I it's interpreting what I've written, which was nosotros iremos a la tienda mañana. It says, let me interpret what you've written. We will go to the store tomorrow. It says it's close, but not exactly what we're aiming for. It's looking for the let's go form, which is different from the we will go form. So let's see. Hmm. I actually don't know what the let's form is. So let's ask it. Can you help me understand the let's form? Typically expressed using the first person plural subjunctive. Lots of words there. Often preceded by the word vamos from the verb ir. Okay, so let's try this. Vámonos a. Uh, Vámonos a la tienda mañana. Whoops, that's not at all what I wanted to do. Okay. Let's go to the store tomorrow. So it says I've correctly used the form let's go. However, there is a small spelling error. The correct spelling includes an accent mark and doesn't have an S at the end. Hmm. Okay. So one thing that I really struggled with, I don't know if you have any familiarity with Duolingo. I've been learning Spanish on Duolingo, and Duolingo isn't as strict about getting, let's say the N with a little squiggly on the top, or an accent mark over E's or O's or A's or what have you. Um, I really, really tried to get the AI to ignore those things because working with an international keyboard can be a little bit challenging on a computer. It's actually much simpler to work with multiple keyboards on a mobile device. But I couldn't get it to do that. So um, let's see if I can make some changes here. So uh, I'm not sure why it says there's no S at the end. A la tienda mañana. The first vowel should be an O, not an A. The accent mark is on the wrong syllable. Oh my gosh. So is it Fomano a la tienda mañana? Which doesn't seem right at all to me. I'm wondering if it's working with Spain Spanish instead of Mexican Spanish, which is what I've been learning. Let's vomit to the store tomorrow. So that was the wrong word. Okay. Starts with vamos, but with a slight modification. Let's just see if we can do nos vamos a la tienda mañana. Excellent. Okay, so what you can do with Spanish is you can, and I don't really know the right way to phrase this because Duolingo is great at words, but not so great at helping you understand grammar. But there is a way to use vamos, I believe it would actually be vamonos, which is like we will go. Um, and so I've just structured that in a slightly different way and it passed the test. So the prompt is going to move forward and say, let's move on to a new sentence for you to translate, which is the cat sleeps on the couch every day. So gato is cat, dormir is to sleep, sofa is couch, and cara is every. So it wants me to remember to use the correct article before gato. Gato is since Spanish is a gendered language, gato is actually a masculine noun, so it would be el gato. Um, Consider the correct preposition to use with dormir when indicating location, and think about how to express every day in Spanish. That would actually be cada dia, but let's see. The cat, so El gato. Um, I don't think this is going to be right. Está durmiendo en la sofa cada día. See how that works. So it says that I'm very close. It interprets it as the cat is sleeping on the sofa every day. The verb tense. So we're looking for a habitual action, not a current action. Saying things like está durmiendo or está hablando, like doing the verb in that way. I think it's like the present imperfect or something. Anyways, it's saying that you're actively doing the thing, right? So apparently, I have the gender of sofa in Spanish incorrect. Sometimes Spanish can be real tricky because early on when you're learning it, it's really obvious that O is masculine and A is feminine, but not everything follows those rules. And so it's just up to your brain to help remember how that works. So let's do this one more time. And I don't really want to belabor the point here with this prompt. The point is to try to structure the prompt in a way that you're getting what you want out of it. And honestly, this prompt is doing a very good job. It's not giving me a whole lot of clues. It's doing the vocabulary table the way that I wanted it to, and it's not being too encouraging. So this is, I think, in line with kind of the spirit of what Andrew was trying to achieve with his Japanese sentence builder. So let's see. We're looking for a habitual action. So let's see. El gato. Uh, uh, I don't know. Let's see. En el sofá cada día. The cat is sleeps. Is it el gato duerme en el sofá? Woohoo! So, as you can see, I had a little bit of struggle with the correct version of the infinitive dormir. So, it interprets it as the cat sleeps on the couch every day. I'm correct. I did the proper conjugation, which was duerme. I used the correct gender for sofa, which is el sofa, and I maintained the correct word order. So I'm not going to keep going through this, but I do want to show you all what the different models look like. So let me go ahead and let's change this to the DeepSeek model. And when I was messing around with this before, what I found really interesting is that DeepSeek kind of thinks out loud, and you'll see what I mean. So as it's doing this research, this reasoning, it's kind of talking to itself, which I found to be rather fascinating to see how it works through this process. And it's going to continue doing that. So let's look at this. So it actually says, okay, let's see. The user provided this detailed query. The main task is to do this. This is what I need. I need to parse the instructions thoroughly. Uh-oh, the example formatting shows that after each interaction, I should provide a new sentence. So I felt like this is a really cool way of seeing kind of how that model thinks its way through something. And this is not something that I'd seen before with other models. I'm positive it does it, but I hadn't been exposed to this level previously. So let's see. I want to visit the museum tomorrow. We've got querer for to want, visitar for to visit, and museo for museum. The main verb want requires a conjugated form followed by an infinitive, and time expressions typically go at the end. See how it does this? Await student's attempt, reply with an interpretation. That's interesting. The other model didn't do that at all. And I think the other model was just the default one that Perplexity uses for the fastest search. So, yo quiero visitar el museo mañana. And here it will start to think its way through again. This is really exciting television, I know. And I won't go through this reasoning part again. I mainly just want to see what the output looks like. So this is interesting. Actually, I take back what I just said. But because of the way that you form verbs, like when I say I want, you would say yo quiero. But quiero is like that can only be me, right? So you don't need the yo because it's implied based on how querer is structured. So shows me my English sentence, goes through the vocab table again. Um, I don't know what. Hmm. Oh, I scrolled. Okay, so I got it right. Yeah, my translation is grammatically correct. New sentence. We need to buy bread this afternoon. Necesitamos comprar el pan esta noche. Maybe I'm not sure, but that's not the point. It's not to see Damian struggle. Let's go ahead and look at the O3 mini model, which is from OpenAI. So I'm going to switch that. I'm going to drop in my prompt again, and let's see what that looks like. So that was much faster. It didn't go through the in-depth thinking out loud that we saw with the DeepSeek R1 model. But see here, it says, please provide me with an English sentence, and we'll work through the Spanish translation step by step. Because again, this is my first sentence. So let's see. I like my dog. Okay. So gustar is to like, me is my, perro is dog. It's got the sentence structure here. Okay, so let's see. A mí me gusta mi perro. So I got it right, which, I knew that one in advance, so you wouldn't have to see me struggle and be bored. So yeah, you can see here that it says my translation is correct. I've got the proper emphasis. Spanish is a little bit formal when it's saying that I like something. It's almost the equivalent of to me, I like, right? But that way you kind of understand who is liking what. It's a little bit hard to figure out from learning Spanish if you are a native English speaker, but you figure it out. So I won't go through this again, but it seems to be pretty close, right? I am curious though what it would look like if we were to perhaps um, change this level to maybe C1 and say that you will provide the student a sentence that aligns with the prompted language level. And the reason for this is C1 is an intermediate, kind of the entry level of the intermediate understanding of the language. And I'm curious if this prompt will apply very well to a higher level of Spanish. So we will do that and go back over here. Let's go ahead and switch back to the pro search. And tell you what, let me start a new thread just so we're not kind of cross-contaminating our prompts and stuff. So it'll provide me a sentence for the student to transcribe into Spanish at the C1 level. Wow. So I knew impacto, but I did not know that for environmental and biodiversity. Oh, well, you know what? We're getting towards the end of our time. I can tell you that that is a much more complicated sentence because I would need to know um, more words, right? Like medio ambiental for environmental. That's not a word that you would learn at the B1 level, which is where we were before. Um, so it's really really great that it kind of did these words, and I could sort through this, but I'm not going to belabor the point here. I am kind of curious though, if we, let's see. Hmm. Yeah. You know what? I think this has been a pretty good exploration of perplexity and the prompt. And I was considering making some changes to the prompt, but I think I'll leave that as an exercise to you, the student, to kind of work through this. And if you are learning a language that is not Japanese or Spanish, see if you can work through the prompts that Andrew has available on his GitHub repo to see if you can adapt it to the language that you're learning. And I know that there are other guest instructors that are working through other languages as well. So be sure to watch those videos. So let me go back to myself here. There we are. Hello again. Anyways, thank you for the time watching this video. Thank you for all the hard work that you've been putting into working through this boot camp. And thank you very much. Again, my name is Damian Karlson. You can find me on Blue Sky. I'm at 6foot.dad. And I appreciate your time. Have a good one. Bye.